Hello engineers, in this lesson we're going to take a model we've already made and put it onto a technical drawing sheet. So for this lesson we're going to take problem 1-3 and place it onto a technical drawing. Open up problem 1-3, which is this model on screen. If you haven't completed this model, then go work on that in another lesson video for problem 1-3. Otherwise, what I needed to do is in Autodesk Inventor on your home in the dashboard area, you can actually change it to a grid view and you'll be able to see everything here with the pictures, or list view, whatever you prefer. So I've already opened up my problem 1-3, and what we're going to do is go to File, iProperties, and the iProperties menu should pop up. What we're going to do is in Summary, we're going to click on Title, and in all caps, make sure that says Problem 1-3. The author, that should be your name. Then click on Physical, and where it says Material Generic, let's scroll up and change it to Aluminum 6061. And Project, the Project tab, make sure that you check the date for today. Then you click Apply and Close, and it might have changed color or texture. The other thing you can play around with if you'd like is in the View tab, you have Visual Styles where you can check the different ways it might look. You can change the quality, the render quality, shadows, reflections, and all of that. In Tools tab, you can actually change the appearance or the color of your object. Now for this, let's just leave it alone and not really play around with it too much because I don't want it to get too complex or confusing right off the bat. Go ahead and click on that Home tab at the bottom again and find the custom template that you should have completed already. Okay, and again, if you haven't finished your custom template lesson, go back, work on that before you continue with this lesson. Now my custom template has popped up. We're going to go ahead and click on Base. And this menu, the Drawing View menu, should pop up. And automatically, the front view should be set to this view that you see here. So the front view is set from when you initially make your 3D model. So whatever work plane that you select, that usually is the front view. If it doesn't look like this, what you can do is you can click and drag the part to the bottom left, which is where it's going to be for the front view. And if it's not in this position, you can click on these little triangles to make it the correct position. Now once it's in this correct position, you will move your mouse, don't click OK, you'll move your mouse to the top view and click one time. Move your mouse to the side view and click one time. And then move your mouse to where the isometric view goes and click one time. And then make sure you're scaled in 1:1. And we want the hidden lines to show and click OK. Then move your mouse to the edges of where the isometric is so that the little dashed lines pop up. Double click and then click Shaded, and then click OK. Notice that now your technical drawing title block gets populated with information. Size of the sheet, scale is 1:1, the date, the problem, or the title I mean, and the name of the designer. For all of your technical drawings, you're going to need major dimensions such as length, width, and height. So you're going to follow along with me while I place the dimensions, and I want you to do exactly the same thing. If you have not referred to the dimensioning guidelines that have been provided, make sure you look over those slides and really process those dimensioning guidelines. They will help you ensure that you are dimensioning your drawings in the best possible way, following the professional standards. So click on Annotate. Click on Dimension, and the first one that you should focus on is the overall length of the part. So we're going to click on this bottom line. So there's a few ways you can do this. You can click on the line, and if the whole line gets highlighted in a color, then you know it's going to get dimensioned. And you can let it snap into place. That's usually the best thing to do. So then length, and then the width is going to be shown on the side view. Now notice, it's only showing the length for this section here. And what we're going to do is then click on the corners and bring that down. Okay, before we continue working, let's do a save check. So we're going to go to File, Save As, and notice that the file name is still in my custom template. And we don't want that. We want this to be titled Problem 1-3 and our initials. So go ahead and click Save and let that save. And I actually saved it in the wrong spot. I want that to be in technical drafting. And yes, we're going to open that. Okay. I'm going to go to File, Save As again, and make sure I'm in the correct folder, my technical drafting folder. Save. And then before we continue, we're going to hover over one of the numbers. If it's not doing that, tap Escape, hover over number, right click, edit dimension style, and your standards menu will pop up. Uncheck trailing zeros. You can increase the precision to 3.123 if you'd like. Then click text. Click on your linear orientation for inline horizontal. So click on that. Then click on the little pencil icon and click yes for save. Change the font to Technic. Change your justifications to center. Change your height to the 0.1. And then click save and close. And now we have the more professional looking font style and size. So we have the length, width, and we're going to need the height. So we're going to place that annotation right here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's going to go on this view here. And we're going to follow the dimensioning standard. So we're going to do it so it's between the two parts. And then we can dimension this and this. And click on this button here and this right here. So that's that 0.75. Now if it snaps right there, that should be okay. And then we're going to move up here and we're going to dimension this 2.25. Let that snap so that it looks like that. Okay, and then we have this internal dimension here. We're going to dimension it on the hidden line in the corner. And then we need to dimension this 0.5. Okay, so I want to show you a couple of don'ts. So when you have your spacing between your parts, if your dimensions are crashing into each other like this, that's a really big no-no. You want to make sure there's enough space between the two parts. The other huge thing, or the other really big no-no, is if parts are too close to the edges of the sheet. That is a very bad look. And you want, in general, your parts to all be centralized on the page. It's okay for the simple parts like this to be more spaced out than usual. And you want to it just needs to be really easy to see and clear, and there's no confusing sections here. Like even this right here, that might be a little too close for comfort. So I'm going to move over the 0.75 just a little bit, just to clean it up a little bit. And then most of the time, I'm going to ask you to include a parts list. So for the parts list, in the Annotate tab, click Parts List. And we're going to find the correct problem here. Let me drop that down and click OK. And it's going to give you a long rectangle. So we're going to place that in the top corner there. And the parts list is supposed to give you more information about the part. So I'm tapping escape, and then I'm going to double click on the parts list. And then this button here, I'm going to click on that because I want to choose some columns and also get rid of the part number. So if you click on part number and remove, you can do that. I'm also going to remove description. The next thing I want to do is include its mass. So add mass, click on material, click on add, and then volume add. Later on in the course, you're going to learn how to add density because that's not a normal thing to add. But sometimes you might be asked to add density. Click OK, click apply, click OK, and you'll notice if you did the correction earlier that the material will show up. It'll give you the volume and the mass. This needs cleaned up. We want to drag the green little dots to the left there so that it is a more consistent thickness between the cells. For item, we're going to shrink that and shrink that and then move the whole thing over. There we go. Okay, so there is the technical drawing for Problem 1-3. Our next steps are saving and exporting. So we're going to go File, Save As, make sure it's Problem 1-3 with your initials in the correct folder. Click Save. Yes, I want to replace it. I'm having a save problem. That's okay. So what I'm going to do is put an underscore here and then try it. There we go. Not sure what happened there, but you can always add an underscore or another number or something. And then export as a PDF. Save. And remember, when you're submitting your work, you should submit both files, the .wg file and the PDF. If you don't submit the PDF, you will only get partial credit or no credit at all. I can't open up your files in the Google Classroom. I can see the PDFs though. So the PDF is the best way to submit your work. And then if your printer is hooked up, you're going to go to File and Print, and it should be the Lexmark MS510 Series XL. You want to always select Best Fit and then click OK, and it will print. Now only do that if you know for sure the printer is set up. And I got a communication failure because I'm not actually on the network at school right now. But get my help so that I can install that printer. You're going to want to print all of your work because you will be keeping this as a portfolio in your binders. Again, rewatch any of the parts just to review and remember some of the steps. And of course, if you need help, ask for help. What I really want to see you do is thinking through the problems and trying to figure them out on your own. There's a ton of different ways to make this part. The way I make it is the way I think is the best way to make it, but you might figure out another way that is easier or better or even faster. So I think that's the cool thing about 3D modeling and engineering in general, is that when you have a problem, there are many ways to tackle a problem and fix the problem and create solutions. So good luck with Problem 1-3, and if you need any help or have questions, please ask.